Hi everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Candid Convo with Crystal. I am here with Miss Kia Simone, Maria S., Misha Allen, and of course I'm Crystal. Candid Convo with Crystal. I am here with Miss Kia Simone, Maria S., Misha Allen, and of course I'm Crystal. Candid Convo with Crystal. I am here with Miss. There you go. So we are going to be talking about this bonnet bonanza. We're going to be talking about this bonnet frenzy and wearing house shoes while you're going to the store and going to Walmart. As you all seen Monique, you all seen her talk about. There is just too many to count. All these young ladies that were wearing bonnet and house shoes at the airport. So I'm going to start with Maria because she had a kind of a different take on what's going on. Maria is actually from Chicago and she's got her own YouTube channel. We're going to be talking about that a little later. But what do you think about that?
I mean, I honestly don't really care that much that, black women are in public wearing bonnets and flip-flops. Like, it happens, it could happen. Like, people go in public looking all type of crazy every day, regardless of the race. So I'm just like, it is what it is. Now, the feedback on women wearing bonnets and looking like that in public would be more warranted if these women were asking for dating advice or how do I find a man, because that's the only time that it really matters is if that's what their goal was. Now, if their goal is just to move through the airport comfortably in, a way that's comfortable to them, then let them do them. And a lot of these ideologies of how black women should show up in the world, it's all stemming from how do we want white people to feel safe around black people. We only have these ideologies because we live in a predominantly white society. Um, and, head wraps and things like that, I mean, that is prominent in Africa. Like head wraps, that is what they do. They wear that on their head. No one gives them beef for it. It's Black women's hair is the most complicated hair texture and type on the planet. So it needs to be protected. So I'm just exhausted of people always trying to police black women, how black women need to show up.
Okay, so head wraps, I understand. Head wraps and the African scarves, beautiful, and we should embrace those. But don't do you think the it is what it is could be a cop out? Because to me, there are so many options. And Kia Simone, you give me your opinion on that.
So, me personally, I'm not going outside in my bonnet. Anything that I went to bed in, like pajamas or anything that I sleep in, I'm not rolling out of bed, going out in public like that. That's just me because I just feel like if I laid it, just like I just got out of bed and just went out to the world. Now, with other people, I'm gonna mind my business. I'm kind of like what Marie said, like, okay, I'm not gonna be super judgmental, like, sis, what you out here doing? Because like all races, anybody to come out in SpongeBob pajamas at Walmart or whatever, no matter what the race is, I'm still looking at you like, oh, okay, whatever, minding my business, maybe. I don't know what you're doing. Now, um, now I do have an issue with body part swinging. So when you out in public, you just start, because if I'm sitting there looking like, okay, I see everything shaking, everything moving, like, you might want to put some underwear on and a brassiere. So with the thing, like I said, I'm mad at my business. Like last night, I had a snack attack. I don't buy snacks in my house because I'm trying to lose weight, but I did give in. So there's too many options out here. I wear wigs. I slapped on a wig real quick and went out with the whole Fair Fawcett curls. It was fabulous at the gas station to get $1.49 bag of chips. But again, to me, Crystal, I think it's to each his own. I'm not gonna knock the sister. But if
You
you
said
take care, well, I got another one. So I'm long winded. Now, if you're taking care of business, now I used to work in a business, and women would come there trying to get help. So it's like, how can I take you serious? Like I said earlier, it looks like you rolled out of bed. So I'm like, okay, did you even wash your behind? What did you do before you just stepped out in your bonnet and everything? Did you brush your teeth? Because I'm like, suspect. Now you want to sit here and talk to me face to face? I'm good.
Well, that's another thing, wearing pajamas, and not just at the airport. I think that could be fudged a little bit, but to Walmart, to Target, and to different places, walking through the mall, walking through the furniture store in your house shoes and things like that. And you said something very interesting. You said that I could go anywhere, and I'm trying to get. Do you know that I was offered a job at the nail salon one time? I was just talking to the esthetician, and this girl next to me, she was like, "Oh my gosh, you sound really smart and this, that, and the other." And she set me up with an interview right there on the spot. Now, if I look like who did it and what won it, would I really have gotten to that next step? And another thing is body part swinging. That is something a friend of mine was, because I come from thickness. A couple of us come from thickness. So there is something that, I've been in school and they've had the stomach out. Unless you're at the beach or at the pool. What do you think about that? Is that okay? I'm going to ask Misha, because Misha, you're a makeup artist. Look and style, that's your business. What do you think?
Mhm. Actually, I have clients come to me in their bonnet, and I feel like there's certain occasions where it's okay. Like I've been in the beauty supply store and there's bonnets. They come to me with their bonnet on. They go to their hair appointment with their bonnet on. But just to be walking around knowing you have multiple errands to run in a bonnet, I'm not going to tell people what to do, but I'm not doing it. So there have been times where it's late and I'm hungry. I want to run through a drive-through. I'm gonna leave my bonnet on and go through the drive-through, but I'm not going to get out the car and walk in the store with it on. But I just think the whole bonnet, it adds to the perception of our community at the same time. That's why you have certain Black women that get the "you're pretty for a Black girl" type of comments. I feel like it adds to that narrative. But I feel it does affect our community of Black women and how we are perceived. But again, I'm not going to tell somebody, don't do this, don't do that.
So that's actually my next question. Do you think the issue wasn't that Monique, what she was saying was the fact that she said it in the first place? This whole mind your business mindset, because that would be my thing. So I see it all the time, like I said. But am I going to go up to that girl and say, pull yourself together, take your bonnet off? No, I'm not. But I'm not going to do it. So, do you think the fact that she actually stepped out and said, maybe you should, uh, maybe you should mind your business, or maybe you should get out there and not walk around with your bonnet and your house shoes and your pajamas on? The fact that she actually posted this on Instagram.
So
So,
I didn't see the Monique thing. I just like kind of like glanced at the, headlines blowing up. So what was the girl trying to do? Because again, that's the determination. Like I'm looking at all the people on your panel today. You have Misha, that's a makeup artist. She's not going out with a bonnet because that's her business to look beautiful. So if she was wearing a bonnet, most people would be like, Misha over here with the bonnet on, looking like she just rolled out of bed. Like she said, if she go to Burger King, she's okay. Maria is a business person. You're a business person. So we are representations of we have an image to uphold. So it depends on what the young lady was trying to do. So if I have a family member or somebody that's a friend that's real close, and I'll be like, hey, like I haven't had somebody that asked me an opinion at work, in corporate America. And I'll be like, well, sweetie, you might want to put on some undergarments. Have you ever heard of Spanx? She didn't even know what a slip was. I was like, sweetie, let me talk to you, because she asked me. That's why you're not moving up, because word around town is you coming here. Like I said they can see your belly button in the meetings. She had a full shirt on, but I guess they were saying that the shirt was so tight. So it just depends if you ask me or what you're trying to do in life. So if you're trying to move up the corporate ladder and you work with me and you like, hey, Kia, I've noticed I haven't, nobody responded to, my resumes. Nobody's not saying anything.
So okay, so Misha, there's a lot of hairstylists that don't have their hair done. That that you go to a hairstylist and they're the ones looking like who did it and what wanted. But I also think no, my hairstylist was never like that. But she would like Kia said, because she is so busy, pull her hair back and slap on a ponytail. But that happens as well. Should we be of the mindset that because we're uh, mental health is so important to us, and be confident in yourself, and who cares what other people think about you, should that influence what we think about ourselves? Should we care? Us as Black women, should we care? Actually, I'm going to ask Maria.
I mean, here's the thing. When it comes to the airport situation, you're on a flight. Some people are coming off of really long flights, okay? I remember taking a trip to Africa. That flight was 18 hours long. Do you think that I got off that plane looking like I was in tip-top shape? I did not. I don't really wear a lot of bonnets, but I probably had a headscarf on or something, like looking like, I was real comfortable. It could happen. My thing is, who is it really hurting? Who is it harming? All of the reasons people are giving for why a woman should not wear a bonnet in public is based on what type of attention she wants to attract, right? So really, if she's showing up in a bonnet, that's on her. Like, it's only going to affect her. It's not really going to affect anyone else around you. Secondly, if we're basing it off of the fact that you want people to respect you or treat you better because you don't have a bonnet on, I would say that, it shouldn't matter what a person is dressed up like in order to get basic human respect. Like, that is not a basis for how we should be respecting each other. And really, if you're always so worried about what other people are going to think of you based on your appearance, you're robbing people of the opportunity to interact with you and engage with your humanity despite how you look. Like, I used to have preconceived notions about, you know, guys who sag their pants or look a certain way, right? But if you interact with a few of them, some of them are really good people. Like, little do you know, like, I don't know. It's just like, we want to place all of these standards and stuff on how other people, Black people in particular, should appear in public, just so we can grasp onto respect that crumbs that people are going to give you anyway, because you don't have to be wearing a bonnet as a Black woman in public in order to be disrespected. You're going to get disrespected regardless, whether you have a full face of makeup or a bonnet on. So the issue is not changing what Black women are wearing. The issue is changing how other people in society treat Black women, period.
So that is a great point, and that's actually a great segue. But it's so I was always told, and I was always taught that you already have two strikes against you. So you are going to have to work three times as hard to get ahead in this world. So you're Black and you're a female, right? So a lot of times, and of course, I come from a mother that was, don't leave home without your earrings. Of course, I totally understand that that's not where we are now. But do you think that we still need to be presentable, or you don't know who you're going to meet? Like I just said, I was in a nail salon and got an interview. So if we look a certain way, are we portraying a sense of, is it take me as I am, or is it laziness? Do we look at, just like you said, that is still the perception even years ago. You had that perception, even though you may not have it now. You have that perception. Kia, what do you think of that?
Like I said, it's to to each his own. Like I said, I'm not gonna sit there and spit hate on you because again, we already have enough issues on our plate. However, just to add to what Maria said, and just kind of like feed off of that what she was saying, we just have to admit it that this is a shallow society. Anything you do, people are shallow. So I understand that you like, okay, it shouldn't be this way, but let's be honest. Looks, image is a high percentage of there. Like you said, Maria, you have enough, about you to say, hey, let me talk to you with the sagging jeans and figure out that you're actually intelligent, that you're actually, but most people don't get that far because the first thing they see is this. So in a real world, people are in image. Just even let's talk about the reality shows. Before they even let you get on a reality show, they're asking you for a picture before they even know what your story is. They want to see a picture of what you look like. Do you look good on camera? So even if whatever business, so with Misha, she's a makeup artist. If they went to her page and her page don't look like it even goes down, it ain't even like just looks. Period. If your page is sloppy, nobody's not gonna follow you. If your pictures, your stuff, all your fonts all over the place, people like things that are pleasing to the eye. So I'm just like I said, I'm gonna mind my business. I'm gonna be like I said, I do it for myself because I feel better when I look better in the house. When I take this wig off and I got these 6 raggedy cornrows, sometimes I'll be like, ooh, okay, sis, who is that? So I'm not going outside to share these 6 cornrows with y'all because I don't even like them. I just.
Risha, what do you think? I understand that, go ahead. What do you think?
Go ahead.
No, I understand that perception and how we dress and look, even though this is a shallow society. So even though it shouldn't be like that, and we are rising above that, you being a makeup artist, that's your job is to make sure somebody looks good and looks presentable. What do you think?
This it kind of reminded me of Tammy Roman's comments on this whole thing. She basically said like she doesn't think it's okay to wear it in public, but at the same time, you shouldn't see somebody with a bonnet on and assume they're ghetto, they're uneducated, they don't know this, they don't know that. And I agree with that. You shouldn't have these prejudgments of people. But at the end of the day, that's what people do because your first impression is everything. That includes your outer appearance, that includes your attitude. If you look like you just rode out of bed, you don't want nobody to talk to you, that's what's going to happen. So I think it's a whole bunch of things together, your attitude, the way you look. And when I feel like Monique got so much backfire for this because it was kind of put off like, don't wear your bonnet, put on a full face of makeup, put on a gown, and do the most. And that's not even it. It's
That's not
you
it.
can still you can be in a t-shirt and leggings and it's not pajamas. You can have a head wrap on, but that's not a bonnet. There's just subtle differences that make such a huge difference in how you're perceived. Not even how you're perceived, but it's just a little bit more effort and it comes off so much differently.
That is exactly what I'm saying. I totally agree with that. That they have running suits. You can slip on some shoes, but and I have friends, and again, I'm in a different era, different mindset that we dressed for work and things. We made sure that, my mother said, make sure you have your earrings and stuff. But even if I don't do that, because there's plenty of days I definitely don't do that, but still there's subtle differences. And as Kia was saying, there's so many options. There's so many options. Our African scars are beautiful. We are a beautiful people, and we should present ourselves that way. So go ahead, Kia. You about to open your mic. Go
No,
ahead, Kia.
I'm just saying, like, it's just the image. Like, when I seen Maria last night on the live, Maria was killing it. I know
Killing,
Maria
killing
personally, but
girl.
the person watching that live, if she would have showed up in a bonnet, they would have been searching her, page as much. Like, I was like, I'm already her YouTube friend and her whatever, but I was like, who is that girl? Like, she is like, she was just like
Yeah.
everything was coming out of her mouth was so dope. So you was just like, okay, it was just the image that she just had me like captivated. And even with Misha, like the way she just like come on, because again, if we all came today, that was gonna be funny and just had a bonnet on top of this. I was like, I'm not about to entertain these people, but
I
it was
was gonna do that too. I
I
was
was
really
gonna say, that's why you know that too.
see, we were all on the same page. But again, it's the image. Like I said, people are really like, it's like I said, it's sad that that's a society that we live in, but it's pleasing to the eye. Just like with Misha's gorgeous face, I went through her Instagram when I finally figured out how to get on her Instagram. Because Misha, you got to tell the people how to find you. Cause it's like she don't want to be found. I finally found her. So I'm going through her page like, oh, sis, okay, okay. And even with Crystal, it's just something about just the that you took that effort, that extra time that makes people like, okay, like I want to follow her. I want to, be on her team. And like I said, I'm not judging if you come, with your bonnet out. Cause again, you might have just like got 5 kids. I don't know. They might have been up all night and you just, whatever. I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, because I don't know your situation. I'm not gonna judge. But if you come to me and say, why can't I move up, or what I'm trying to do X, Y, Z, like first we need to work on your image.
And you actually have a great point because to me, and you're right, Misha. I was like, okay, what mask is she wearing? What is that? But we really have to still, I think, be comfortable. Like you still going to the airport, but at the same time, there are so many options out there, and that little extra effort is important. And Maria, I have to ask you. You said it only matters when you're going to get a date or something of that nature. Now, I don't have a preconceived notion. When I see that they're, a bonnet at the Walmart or something like that, I think, okay, she either just came from the hair salon and, she's on her way home or something like that. I don't have those preconceived notions. But another thing that, that I was also taught is you never know who you're going to meet, so you never know who you're going to see. So when you think of it like that, what do you think in that? Yes, we still, as Black women, we have enough on our plates to worry about. But what do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what's missing is the backstory behind why she had the bonnet on in the first place, right? Like, I'm pretty sure the women that were wearing bonnets in the airport don't wear bonnets everywhere they go all the time. Like, you caught them in a moment in time. We've all had those moments in time where, whatever the backstory is, you're ripping and running, you didn't have time, you're trying to accomplish a mission, and you got your bonnet on, you got caught out here in these streets with the bonnet on. It just happens. And there are factors that lead up to it. Yes, you never know who you're going to meet, you know, all of that. And yes, society will treat you differently depending on how you show up and present. All of these things are true. But again, is the advice even necessary if it wasn't, like, if these women were like, man, we know that they were complaining about, why can't I find a man, or why can't I get a job, or like something like that, then it's like, okay, well, maybe every time you leave the house, then don't wear a bonnet. Great. So there's that. But if we just blanket, we see random people with bonnets on in public, and then all of a sudden it's a whole issue on the Black community. Black women need to stop wearing bonnets in public. It's like, look, I might get caught with a bonnet in public. What you gonna do? Like, bite me? Like, I don't care. Like, it could happen, and I don't need your advice. I have a good job. What makes you think I need to meet somebody right now? Like, maybe I don't want to meet nobody right now. Maybe I just want to go to the grocery store, get my stuff, get gone. Like,
Right.
it is what it is.
So let me ask another question,
Mm-hmm.
Maria. I'm going to stick with you. One of the biggest things that she got really dinged for was, who is she to be telling anybody um, what they should and shouldn't be wearing? Should we, as people, as women, specifically Black women or Black people, should we be holding each other accountable? Not your boss, not your parents, not your father, or mother, but should we be holding each other accountable?
I mean, we're holding each other accountable based on subjective standards, right? Like what works for you may not work for someone else, may be comfortable to you, may not be comfortable to somebody else, you know? So when we say hold each other accountable, look, there's so many critiques that could be had on Black women. When I go to a job interview, right? It's not even about the bonnet at that point. Okay. I don't even have a bonnet on, but just the way I wear my hair. Now, I could wear my hair super presentable in an afro, or I could wear my hair super presentable straight and European centric, right? Now,
Right.
which one am I more likely to get the job for? The straight hair, right? That's a problem. That's a problem. So I think that yeah, we can hold each other accountable, but are we holding unrealistic like standards and stuff that society is placing on people accountable too? Because I think that it goes both ways. The only reason why we feel the need to like be so conscious of whether or not we're wearing a bonnet or whether or not we're wearing straight hair versus an afro in public is because of toxic like ways that people are viewing the situation on appearance. Like, yeah, I mean, society's not going to change easily, but at the same time, I'm not going to be mad at a Black woman for randomly being in public with a bonnet on. I'm just not. I don't have
So
energy.
you're saying it's toxic ideologies, toxic centric ideology.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, Kia, I'm going to ask you the same question. Even if it's not our hair, like you said, got our stomach out or something like that. If you saw somebody that, and you saw a peer, you and I were out, and you said, Crystal, maybe it's not a good idea for you to wear that. Would you do that? Or if she want to wear that, she can. Let's see what Let's see what happens.
So in the real world, Kia Simone be over here minding her business. Like I said, just this past weekend, my cousin had on this funny hat. I didn't know why she had the hat on. I was like, okay. And then she finally felt the need to come explain it to me because she was had her hair pinned up for the event. Okay, sis. But she asked me. So I don't come offer advice or information that you didn't ask. Like I said, I don't know what your situation. You might not like how I dress. Because again, everything that I do is sparkly. It's gonna be something eccentric going on. So I'm not here to judge you. Like I said, if you want to wear cowboy boots and a pair of shorts, mind my business. You might come in there with some like when they even with body shaming. Oh, well, you too big to wear that. Listen, sis, if that's what you want to wear, I'm gonna mind my business. I might not like it, but that's your business. If you feel comfortable in a two-piece at 300 pounds, sis, I love it.
Do
Your
you?
confidence level is on 100. Now, Kid Simone ain't about to have the two-piece on, like, hey, because I feel, like stuff be popping out. So at the end of the day, Crystal, I'm not one to sit there and judge. Like I said, I'm an image person. Like I said, anything in my house is sparkly. I'm attracted to things of color. I'm just attracted to those type of
Right.
things. And it's not even so much like I said about image with the bonnet or whatever. I'm just like, oh, okay, she's got a bonnet on. Like I said, she could have had 5 kids. I'm not gonna pull her. Now, I've had a couple of people who've liked my style and be like, hey, quick question. What do you think about this? Then I'm gonna tell you because you asked me. So you asked me like, hey, well, I notice, like I said, Marie said, oh, I haven't got a date because you keep going outside with your SpongeBob pants on. Maybe that's why nobody ain't talking to you. So if you ask me, Crystal, I'm telling you, Maria, you ask me, I'm gonna be like, hey, but all y'all are fabulous, so y'all don't need my help. But Crystal, like I said, Kia Simone be mind her business in these streets.
So, Misha, you are a makeup artist. The job of a makeup artist, how do you want to look? How do you want your makeup done? But do you make suggestions or you just said, listen, I'm just going to do what they tell me and that's it?
No, with clients, I'm always like, bring a photo, have a photo, because even they be trying to tell you I wanted something like with blue and red. I'm like, girl, I don't know what that means. So I'm always like, bring a photo because what looks good to me, I may do something on you and think it's bomb, and you're like, that's not what I wanted. And just because
Keep going because I have something to say. Go ahead, Keith. Go ahead. Go ahead. I want you to go.
just because I like it doesn't mean you're going to like it. So I'm always putting them first and making sure you like it. Okay, you want rainbow eyeshadow? That's what I'm gonna do for you because that's what you want. But so I don't really think, even with this whole thing, there's not really accountability unless it's like asked for, because ultimately it's a preference. You
True.
don't mind going out in your bonnet. Okay, that's good for you, but I do. So I'm not going to do it.
Go
So
ahead.
that's how I view it.
Go ahead, Kia. What were you going to say?
Kind of answered it because I was like, that's why I can't do makeup or hair or anything for anyone else. Because if you come in there asking for something crazy, don't be like rainbow eyeshadow. Like, don't tell anybody Kia did that. So, do you feel that way, Misha, when people want that something, just crazy? Do you put your name on it? Be like, don't tell nobody, don't take no pictures and tag me.
I don't take no pictures, because honestly, people assume if they see someone with color in their makeup, they're like, oh, all you do is dramatic looks. No, I can do something soft, I can do natural. And like, I had a bride once. She wanted her makeup so simple, like barely their makeup. That's what she wanted. And people were telling me, why didn't you do this? You should have did this on her and do that. I'm like, she was the bride. That's what the bride wanted. That's all you can do is
I used to love, it was so funny going to, you take the hairstyle picture of, I don't know, Gabrielle Union to the hairstylist, and then you don't come out. That was the biggest thing at the salon. I didn't come out looking like this. Sweetheart, you're not Gabrielle Union. You're not going to look like that. So why, and then they get so bad. I'm like, that's not what's going to happen, right? You're not going to look exactly like this picture. That's not how that works. Go ahead,
I
Kia.
understand that to a certain extent, Crystal. But if I say I want beach curls, I don't want to come out with full tight spiral. So don't tell me you can do something if you all the way left. I understand I'm not gonna look like Gabrielle, but if I'm telling you I want these type of curls, I want the type of curls. Because I've seen people that tell you they can do stuff and you be looking like that's nowhere near what. That's what I
Right.
said. I was on Crystal page, like Crystal is that girl out here. Y'all follow not Crystal, Misha out here doing makeup. Like, okay.
Okay, so Maria, do you mind if I mention some? I was just posting about to Kia Simone earlier, and uh, I was rewatching your video with Jay. And he was talking about being a girl dad, and I loved it. And I don't know if the ladies saw it. I think Misha was in the chat as well. And it was so amazing because he said, baby, you can be whatever you want to be in this life. You can be whoever you want to be. You can have whatever career you want to have. And he said, no. And she said, no, I can't. And he said, why not? And he said, I want to be a princess, and princesses don't look like me. And that hurt me. And I know that Kia said that just totally hurt me to my heart. And so, what do you think of something like that? What do you think? What is your immediate reaction when you hear something like that? I'll go to Kia first.
How did I know you were gonna go to me first? And that's like how you have to like have parents in your life that support you. Because I've always felt like that we're getting a little better with even with a dark skinned girl. When we used to always say, you're cute for a dark skinned girl, stuff like that. We have to
That's an
like
interesting
stop
word.
putting these, it's enough in this world. So you're putting all this heavy burdens on these children because it's grown folks that need to have their hands popped. We're the ones who's like, why did that girl feel the need to say that? Because she heard some grown tale being saying some stuff that was just inappropriate. And that's why people, oh, that's just one of the things that just like irks me because I don't care how old you are, but these old people need to stop because they say a lot. They're the ones who put a lot of this stuff in these children. But with her dad, I think she has a fighting chance. I can't think of the name of the movie. I was just watching the Kevin Hart movie this weekend.
Fatherhood.
Fatherhood, yeah, pretty real good. So I just like how he didn't force her to wear pants. And then they was like, "Oh, you got boy underwear." It's just like sometimes, like let the people be who they want to be. Like that goes back to the body thing. If she feels like whatever reason, let her be. Let the person be. If that's not what you want to do, mind your business. But she said that it doesn't look like her. But again, where did she get that from? Grown tell people like us or older than us that's running their mouth and saying stuff. And I just, my heart just goes out to, children when they have issues like that. And this is a whole nother topic, Crystal, because I told you I had that issue where I closed up my gap because it was like, people like, oh, like she would be cute, but she look like she missing a tooth. So it's just like these things that grown people say, or there's you never seen anybody pretty really with a gap back then. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I really haven't. So
Yeah.
Crystal said she kept hers.
Yeah.
Yours is beautiful, Crystal. Yours was straight. Mine was like over here, like, hey, they like this was over here. It was like I was missing a whole front tooth. So if it's straight, I love it. It just, I said, but it was a complex, and you just don't know what type of complexes you put into children. And like I said, that broke my heart when he said that when you was sharing that with me, Crystal. I was like, dang, these babies got to go through all this because we just don't know how to shut up. We put our own insecurities off onto these children, and it's like not even with the white folks. It's us most of the time, like, oh, no, black people don't do that. And I heard a lot of black people say that. Well, black people don't do that. Black people don't do that. Who told you that?
I'm going to save Maria for last. Misha, what do you think about that?
It brought up a memory of me being younger. My parents sent me to private school. I was probably one of three of the only Black girls in the whole school. I was the darkest one. I was the biggest one. So every day it was you're fat, you're ugly, you're an elephant, you're a monkey. And I would come home and my dad would say, you're so beautiful. You're such a princess. Look at your hair. It's so pretty. And everyone at school told me my hair was nappy. So it was like I would get broken down and then come home and get lifted up. So I knew at a young age, I knew I was beautiful, but I knew the world didn't think I was beautiful. So I always had that perception that not everyone gets. They don't get the build back up after they get torn down. So I think, like he has said, we have to watch what we say. We have to watch what we're putting out there because it can really be affecting someone.
Maria, go ahead. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, this all stems from, the lack of representation in the media, right? And she was saying that she wants to be a princess. Where did she get her idea of what a princess was? From the media, right? And largely the princesses being portrayed in the media are white, blonde hair, blue eye, Cinderella. It's that type of imagery. And so when a whole society is basing beauty standards off of what they're seeing in the media, and then you show up in the world different from what is being portrayed in the media, you're bound to have feelings of inferiority like that, because society is eating it up and acting as though that's true. So I think it also ties even back to the bonnet conversation. If there was more representation of Black women on television living average daily lives, getting caught in Walmart with a bonnet on, it would be more normalized. It wouldn't be such a big deal. People would have more understanding for that type of a scenario and situation. So, like I said, it's an issue with society that needs to be fixed, but I'm glad that she did have a strong father and family unit and system of support that could show her and educate her on what true princesses are that look like her. There are real life princesses in Africa that still exists. So the fact that that's not being uplifted in the media and we're over here focused on the British monarchy and all this type of stuff, what about our African monarchies?
That's actually a great point because we really don't look at them at all. We really don't focus on our African monarchies at all. And it's what's interesting. And now they're trying to take out slavery and certain things that have happened to us out of history, out of studies. that kills me because it happened. Like, so you're just not going to focus on it. So that it absolutely happened. And I'll give you a little story of me. Born in the South, but raised in California, and I had the braids and I had the beads, and I did go to a predominantly white school, but I never was. And I was naptastic, and I had all the naps, but I was never uh, given the impression. But when I got home, as Misha said, when I got home I was lifted back up, but at school there was all kinds of things said behind my back, in front of me, and it was an opportunity to just break you down. It was constant. It is constant. But do we have those peers that are holding us accountable? And is it okay that we as women hold each other accountable, not wait for the executive to not give us the job and then wonder why? Because we have a nice afro. Are we just going about our business and not saying anything? I really believe that it wasn't what she said, is the fact that she said anything in the first place, that she professed that this is not okay. I think that, and they want us to just mind our business. So is it okay that we mind our business? That we see each other. Like he has said, maybe you shouldn't be walking around with these, with these SpongeBob leggings on. And is that okay that we start speaking up to our peers? Misha, go ahead. Oh, Kia opened her mic. Go ahead, Kia.
No, but again, like I said, that vision is going to quickly fade away. So, like I said, like earlier today, I seen some stuff, a hot mess. And the only reason why I remember it now is because we're talking about it. But if you out here with everything swinging, okay, I don't know you. Because again, I don't know how you're going to take it. And even with coworkers that we could. This is a whole nother. You might want to write this down. It's a whole nother topic. Like, what do you tell your girlfriends? Because, like I said, you have some people that get totally offended and be like, "Oh, I don't want to be a friend no more because you telling me stuff I don't care or whatever. I'm gonna wear this or what I'm gonna do. My body. Who are you?" So, if a friend comes to me and asks me a situation like we just said, Maria put on there with your dating life, your career, or what something like that. If you come to me as a friend, and be like, "Hey, Kia, I've been putting out these resumes. Nobody's calling me." Okay, well, sis, have you ever do you go to work like that? Do you do such like you came from the club? So there's a lot of things, like I said, that I don't like. But again, as quickly as I see it, leaves my memory. Again, I don't know you. So your life does not impact mine. So I don't know what your ambitions in life. I don't know what you got going on. Again, if that's what you want to do, knock it out. But again, I'm out here trying to sell books. So I need to, put my hair on, put a little lip gloss on, sometimes some eyeshadow. So it just depends on what your end game is. But I'm not gonna just give you advice if you don't ask.
Okay, I'm gonna do a different question. Misha,
Mm-hmm.
Black culture affects every culture. What do you think of uh, our Black culture affecting, let's say, white women who want to wear dreadlocks, or white women who want to, dress like us, or just different nationalities that want to have big lips and getting injecting it into their lips and things like that.
Um, I think it's called culture appropriation. I think that's the term for it. There was this video I saw. It was maybe she was Asian, I don't know. She wasn't black, but she had cornrows. And she did this TikTok like, I have an interview tomorrow. Let me take these out of my hair. And so a lot of Black women were upset because they felt like, okay, you got to feel Black for a moment. Now, once you don't want to feel Black anymore, you have the option to take them out and create something that's more acceptable, that's more standard like. And that's how I feel about it. I even with the Kardashians, they'll steal so many things from Black culture, but as soon as it's doesn't work for them, they're ready to throw it away. So I think it's definitely happening. They want our rhythm, but not our blues. So I think it is what it is.
Maria, do you agree with that? Do you have a different opinion on that?
Well, I think that white people or other cultures have been stealing from Black culture for like forever, right?
Right.
Um, and what they do is the way that they steal it is they'll shame us first and make us believe that it is unacceptable and bad. And then they'll take it for themselves and try to extract all the cool parts out of it and not have to worry about the negative repercussions of the shame that they placed on us. With this bonnet situation, right, there was literally a white woman who came out with a product that operated in a similar fashion as a bonnet. Okay. And she tried to basically say she invented this cool, versatile sleepwear. And even like in her ad, she showed how it could be worn in public as like a head ornament or something like that. And it's just like you're trying to say you really invented this, but this is a bonnet that Black women have been wearing for ages and have been wearing them in public. Okay. So you didn't invent nothing new. Then you want to shame us for wearing our stuff in public and take it for yourself. This happens all the time. And this is why I don't have energy for telling Black women to stop wearing your bonnets in public or whatever. Because who's to say that that's not acceptable? White society who will steal it from you and rock it themselves anyway and discard of it when it's no longer of use to them to feel cool. Like this is where it's just like it, you know, I don't know. People just need to leave Black women alone. Let us live our lives, okay? We not telling y'all how to live, how to show up in the world, so stop trying to tell us.
That was a great. That was a great because one thing that you definitely that I have to highlight is that they will shame us first and then normalize it and say that they created it. There's countless things that has happened. There's countless number of things that's happened. Kia, I want your opinion on this. Go ahead, open your mic.
So I think we're all see. Let's say you gonna have to bring some, like Kojo say, some smoke, because we all kind of like on the same page. Like it's bigger things in the world that's happening. People have bigger issues in their life. So I'm not about to shame you about your bonnet. Again, sis, if you don't, you want to wear your bonnet out, because again, you could just find out you got breast cancer. Your mama could have just died. There's a lot of things that people got going on. And I tell people that all the time. Just because I'm smiling today don't mean it's all good. So at the end of the day, we picking on people about stuff that just irrelevant. Like, why are you worried about it? It's not putting any money in your bank
I'm
account.
not
It's
putting
not
any
adding to your life or subtracting. So again, I'm kind of like with Marie, like we got bigger things to worry about. And like you said, the Caucasian people will talk about it, but then they'll have it like even with the turbans. My grandma wore a turban, in her older age because, she just didn't have her hair wasn't full. So she just rocked the turban most of the time. But then you remember when they started making the turbans popular, everybody wanted to wear turbans. Some of these they were wearing them like with dresses, like full evening gowns. Like, that's a turban. My grandma was wearing that. Stop. I don't even know how you just dress that up. Then when they dress it up, they put the the brooch on the top of it.
Yes, you put the brooch on the side.
Did you just put a brooch on a
it up.
turban? That's at the beauty supply for 99 cents. But you just sold it for $500. Like, give me my portion of that check. But I'm just like I said, I think we just exhaust ourselves and there's bigger things for us to focus on. And it's just sad. And I know, like, it's entertaining. But I always tell people whenever the social media or internet go wild on one particular subject, there's something bigger in the world that we should be focusing on. So I'm like, we just get sidetracked too easy about stuff that really.
So I really want to touch on two things that Maria said, and well, one thing that Maria said specifically is maybe we should normalize it, because again, this white woman created the same thing, and she's probably making more money than the person that created the more money than the Black woman that created the bonnet. So, so that was huge. And something that you said earlier, Kia, like I said, back in the day, our mothers were like, you better look presentable. You already have two strikes against you. So, you have to work 3 times as hard and all of these things. But are we so worried about our look? Are we so worried about how we're looking to other people that we're so self-conscious about that we're not going out there and going out there with confidence? And just now, okay, now you've got the hair law, and I'm saying it the wrong way. What is the exact name of it, Kia or Maria? Do you know?
The what? The hairline?
Hair. It's a law that a Black woman can wear hair however they want at work. I'm saying it the wrong way. But now we've had to create this whole law. We've got to legalize wearing your hair any way you want to. And I'm saying it wrong, and I will get the right saying. But why are we worried about that? Are we so self-conscious that we're not just going out there and we're just started doing that, wearing our hair however we want? Like you said, we've got the toughest hair. I actually think, a lot of times they used to say the stringy hair was the good hair. This tough, can't you, don't you? This is the good hair. This is the good hair.
But that's what I said. Like it goes back to those parents and those people who already had, like I said, and it sticks with us. No matter how much counseling we get, you still have, like you said, your mom in the back of your head saying, "Crystal, wear your earrings on." So you get up and you probably be like, "Oh, dang, I don't got my earrings on." So those are things that are built into us. Just like you said about your hair. Like it's in my book, because I did talk about the hair thing in my book. About like my brothers, their father is different than they have different fathers. So their hair is more curly, soft and curly. So people say, "Oh, that's the good hair." So my mother will always say, "Oh, if I had a girl, she would have the prettiest girl." Well, what about me, honey? She'd be like,
Right.
"Oh, that's probably why my hair wasn't growing for a while, because she was slapping a perm on my hair at 2 years old." Where was the people in the 70s? Because she was doing like, "Girl, you can't put a perm on a baby hair." But I had thick hair. Now, like you said, people like, what? Like when I take this off, like I have like a thick hair, but it's not tight. But like you said, that's the good stuff now, because at least I probably never go bald. But it's just the parents have to, like the older generation just need to stop. Now I put it in the chat about this, the Williams sisters. You remember how we went so hard on them? They was like, they couldn't even play tennis. The white community, the Black community, why they got the braids in their hair? They playing tennis. What, you playing tennis? Why would you wear your hair straight? You're sweaty in your head. So what did y'all want from them? Like, I couldn't. We're our
Well,
worst
that
enemy.
was another thing that the Caucasians, the officials were saying that their beads were distracting. Why are you watching their beads? Watch them play tennis.
They were trying to figure
Hey,
out how they
listen
would
to their
stand in
beads. Their
there.
beads were distracting to me. I know what their beads are doing. They're moving, and you don't like the fact that they're moving, and you don't like the fact that they're winning tournaments. But what you said earlier, Kia, about it really was our own society. It was really our own people, our own parents. And when this young girl says, "I want to be a princess and I don't look like other princesses," that hurt me, because I was like, well, no, I used to play with the crystal doll. I used to play with the chocolate the little chocolate Barbie doll. I didn't, I may have had she may have had some white friends, but the main doll was the crystal doll. The main doll looked like me. So do we have those? We didn't have. Not everybody had those parents that had us playing with those same dolls and it was promoting that. They were like, "Oh, you better, look a certain way when you leave this house, and that's it." So, would you?
And again, like I said, I applaud it. Today is Father's Day. Big shout outs to Misha's dad, because that was awesome that he, built her up. Like I said, but it's terrible when you have, like you said, your own people tearing you down. Like I didn't get comfortable with my own looks until like later in life. Like, because you have, like I said, people tearing you down. And you like, what is beauty? You're like, okay, like, So I think it's gonna take people like you, Crystal, the Marias, the Mishas, the people that are comfortable in themselves. Like, baby, you are beautiful. Like, I promise you, that little chocolate girl in that movie with Kevin Hart, I love her. I just her something about her chocolate skin, just her smile. I was like, oh my gosh, they got a chocolate baby on there. I love it. So I just think it's gonna be people like us, the next generation, that just uplift when we see it, whatever. Even if we feel like somebody's not, like I said, the older people, they them mouths were loose. And I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I know like my people from the South, and they just got some, they be loose with them lips, and you be like, well, that was so inappropriate. It's hurtful. So you do it out of love. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see something, you know, like I said, when they ask, hey, come here, you know, like I see you know, I see a nipple ring, you know, whatever. You can do it in love. Like, you know, did you mean for that? Like, okay, they be laughing, ha ha ha, you know, be like, hey. But it's how we do it. Do it in love. And again, if she want to wear cornrows, but again, Misha's dad is Father's Day. Anybody else, father or mother, is lifting them up. Those teachers that told them people that they are beautiful, because we need more people like that. And it wouldn't take so long for us to get to that point where we're comfortable with ourselves, and that's a whole nother conversation when that's how you get in them bad relationships, because nobody told you were beautiful. Nobody. So as soon as, you know, Ray or somebody tell you, like, okay.
But to your point, Kia, a lot of times it was our own people, it was our own mothers and fathers. Oh, you don't look, you ain't no good, or this, that, and the other, that were the ones breaking us down. So then when we meet Ray, and he tells us the same thing, well, it must be gospel, it must be true, because that's what our parents told us. So that's what happens, and that is the vicious cycle that a lot of us have been subjected to. So I really want to thank you, ladies. This has been so much fun. This has been so much fun. I want to start with Ms. Kia Simone, because she should have to be showing us something in a second. So I wanted to promote her book.
So I just first want to thank the lady of the house, Crystal, for even considering me, for inviting me. I just love all like how y'all just don't understand. Like I told Crystal earlier, I'm a true introvert. So you probably don't believe it, but it's just amazing how we just all came together like over like this pandemic through the internet. So we just all met, but it's just like a beautiful group of Black women just coming together, just accepting each other for who we are. So again, Crystal, thanks for providing this platform. We also have Maria with her own show. Y'all make sure y'all follow her. Again, we support each other over here. It ain't no shade. You know, we share channels. We share each other IGs. You might look up, be like, "What?" I sure did share your picture, Misha. I sure did, Crystal. I sure did, Maria. But she's asking about my book. I'm the author of From Pains to Love by your girl Kia Simone. I touched on some of the stuff today. You can get my book off of Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me on IG at author period Kia period Simone. Thank you.
Misha, you're next. Please share your channel and talk about all these makeup tips. And thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Crystal, for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun here. I always enjoy every single panel like this. But yeah, my YouTube is Misha Allen. I do show reviews and makeup reviews. I'm a foundation girl. I'm all about the skin, so I love doing foundation reviews. My Instagram is Misha _ and yeah, those are my social handles. But thank you to Crystal, thank you Kia and Maria for adding your input. This was such a good panel today.
Maria, go ahead. Maria S. Thank you for joining me. And I actually think that Maria loves to drop some bombs, and she's so intelligent. But one thing she said is maybe we should normalize these things. Maybe we should, if we start normalizing a lot of these things, then nobody can take it away from us. So go ahead, Maria, with your final segment.
Crystal, this was such an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for bringing us together and allowing us to share our thoughts and opinions on this important topic. Kia, Misha, you both are beautiful, amazing, love your ideas and thoughts. Honored to be on a panel with you guys. Kia, that book, we're gonna have to talk about it on my channel sometime soon. Okay, we got to set it up. All right, let's get it popping.
Yeah.
Um, and you guys just find me at Maria S. I'm trying to build my YouTube channel. I'm trying to have more meaningful conversations. Next week, I'll be dropping a few pieces of content. I'm continuing a mental health for Black women series with Candace the Therapist, and you can find her on Instagram at that Candace the Therapist. And we'll be discussing mental health for Black women with a focus on workplace mental health in the corporate world, and professionalism for Black women. So tune into that discussion. I'll also be dropping some interviews with cast members from Ready to Love on Thursday. I have an interview with Rashid that I'm super excited about. So you guys definitely tune in. It's going to be a fiery discussion. So I'm super excited. And I just wish all of you guys the best and peace and blessings.
Thank you, ladies. I am also going to be having some more content coming up. I want to I really want to cover partner versus provider. I really think that that is a huge subject because there's some, we really haven't gotten the actual understanding of what that really means, being a provider and being a partner. And provider is not purely financial. So I really want to be doing that in the next week or so. So thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. There's going to be more content coming. Thank you. Crystal out.